The main US stock indices closed last week largely in the black. Over the week, the S&P 500 index, the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq managed to jump to their new record highs, having shown steady growth for the 8th session in a row. Some analysts are sure that the US stock market may extend its rally, yet its bullish outlook is clouded by the cautious investor sentiment as the US inflation report will be released soon. The Dow Jones Industrial Average has demonstrated a strong rise over the week. It added 400 points, which was in line with our forecast. Currently, the index is trading at 36,400. Now investors have no doubts that the Dow will approach new highs soon, breaking above 36,500. The growth may be facilitated by the strong NFP report showing the recovery of the labor market. The economy added far more jobs than expected and unemployment fell to 4.6%. Such positive results fueled optimism among market participants. Now they are certain about steady economic recovery. The S&P 500 index also added gains last week, rising to 4,700. Overall, it advanced by 80 points in a week. However, the index might have shown even better results if not for the decline in the shares of some tech companies. Over the weekend, Elon Musk launched a poll on Twitter asking his followers whether he should sell 10% of his Tesla stock. More than half of users voted in favor of the share sale. After that, Tesla shares collapsed in the pre-market on Monday, which may bring some pessimism to the stock market this week. However, the weekly forecast for the index is generally positive. It is expected to climb to 4,720 or higher. Nasdaq Composite turned out to be the biggest gainer last week. It managed to swell more than 500 points. Now it's trading at 16,350, but its growth has stopped in the last 4 days. Earlier, the main catalyst for the rise was the news about successful clinical trials of Pfizer's antiviral pill. Pfizer said its COVID-19 pill showed almost 90% effectiveness against the infection. Analysts are sure that the index is likely to resume its rally, rising by another 100-200 points. The US stock market ended the week trading higher amid growing oil and gas prices and the performance of the tech sector. Following the results of today's trading, Caterpillar, Visa and Pioneer shares showed better results compared to other companies included in the Dow Jones. Meanwhile, some stocks failed to repeat last week's success. For instance, Tesla shares lost several points after the news that Elon Musk may sell some of his stocks. Nike shares have been extending losses for the second week in a row. One should take into account this information when choosing stocks for a portfolio. Investors are aware of high inflation. The current inflation rate is definitely weighing on market sentiment. Yet many traders believe that inflation remains high only because of supply chain disruptions. This is why investors do not consider it a serious problem. So let's sum up. The third quarter earnings season is nearing its end. According to FactSet, 89% of the companies included in the largest US indices have already published their revenue reports, and 81% of them exceeded the expectations of Wall Street analysts. The current earnings season turned out to be unexpectedly successful, fueling optimism across the stock market. Thus, the main US stock indices have been able to reach their new all-time highs. How long will the rally in the stock market last? Perhaps we will find out soon. Watch our video reviews and stay up to date with the latest market news. See you back soon.